Thanks for joining us on Motormouths, presented by Toyota. And alongside the mayor, Jeff Burton, Steve Letarte, Rick Allen with you as we look forward to Watkins Glen, another road course coming off of Indy, the road course where there was only one caution. They went green for almost 2 hours straight. What can we expect, Jeff, from Watkins Glen?
Well, if I'm a crew chief and a driver, I'm talking today about how important Saturday is. Qualifying is important. We've seen it on the road courses. We're not getting the cautions on road courses like we're accustomed to getting. We just aren't. And I don't know why. The racing is really good. I mean, we saw incredible racing throughout the field on Sunday. For some reason, we're just not having the cautions. So I'm understanding that I got to go into this race at Watkins Glen feeling the same way, and it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on me as a driver to get it done Saturday in qualifying. I've got to get track position. I got to get it right now. And I think it makes the intensity of practice that much harder. I think it makes the intensity of the green flag on lap one that much more important. So immediate attention to qualifying, immediate intensity in practice, and on the first lap of the race, you got to get track position and you got to keep it.
Yeah, Watkins Glen is not a track that normally provides a lot of yellows just because of runoff area. I mean, turn one now is paved. The bus stop all around that is mostly paved. Off the carousel is paved. Off the last left-hander is paved. So now listen, drivers will still find their way into barriers. We see it all the time in the bus stop. We see it up through the S's. But to go back to what Jeff is saying, I think we needed an Indy road course style race to remind some of these young drivers that all mistakes aren't forgiven. You know, in today's world of free pass and double file restart and strategy and all of these buzzwords, I think some young drivers are falling into this trap of, you know, I just got to be ready in the last fuel run. And the last fuel run started with 77 to go in Indianapolis because we never saw another yellow. It wouldn't shock me to see another long run at Watkins Glen. Perhaps there'll be yellows. I wouldn't be shocked if there are yellows late. But it's a 90-lap race. You can run just over 30 laps on fuel. So, Jeff, back to your point about, hey, track position, I can't help you much, man. We're going to pit like around lap 28 or 29 and pit around lap 60 and checkered flag around lap 90. There's just not a lot. I know without the cautions being thrown at the stage breaks, this one becomes very, very crystal clear on how it needs to be called until yellows start to fall. Then get your abacus out, Rick. We're going to do some math.
Okay, so Steve, is there a favorite? I mean, we know that Chase Elliott has won here twice. They should have confidence after finishing second at Indy. Do you put him up on a pedestal as being a favorite?
Well, so I don't have Watkins Glen and Indianapolis exactly the same as far as shape. You know, there are some flatter corners at Indianapolis, but as far as surface, I do think they're very, very similar. The lack of tire fall off, unlike Sonoma where you lose so much grip. So I would be shocked if it's not some of the same players, right? I expect McDowell to be fast again, Suarez, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell. I mean, none of these names, Jeff, are names we probably wouldn't have said before leading into practice of qualifying in Indianapolis. So I expect the same thing. The difference for me is Watkins Glen has been on the NASCAR schedule longer than any other road course these current crop of drivers have seen. So I think that will bring the field even closer. It was already stacked close at Indianapolis. So I think 3rd to 25th in qualifying and 3rd to 25th in the race are going to be right on top of each other when it comes to pace.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. I was shocked at how close it was at Indy, and I agree with you that this Indy and Watkins Glen are much closer together than Sonoma, than Coda, because of the surfaces. And really, Watkins Glen is like the super speedway of road courses. It has a lot of fast corners. So yeah, I think the same players. I would caution Mike, if Steve was my crew chief, I would caution him and say, hey, we still have to pit as if cautions are coming out, because if you don't, and several others do, and you do get that caution, the track position that we just talked about is so valuable, it's gone. So without tire fall off, some of these drivers and teams may be put in position to have to gamble a little bit and hope for some cautions, trying to get the win. But there is a cost to doing that. You pit too early and you don't get those cautions, and then you don't have enough fuel. So it's a very risky game But if you are in the position of some of these guys, the only way forward is high risk.
Thanks for joining us on Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.